Thank you, sir. My question is to the Minister for Tourism. Has the Minister for Tourism met with the member for Mawson to be briefed on his recent mission to Doha, Switzerland, Sweden, the French Alps and London to increase tourism in South Australia? And if so, what did she learn in this briefing?
Would the Premier? Premier has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, the major events fund that we took to the policy that we took to the election and was funded in the budget that was handed down in June sits with myself as the Premier of South Australia. It sits within DPC, as does the administrative arrangements that underpin the Major Events Attraction Committee that is being chaired by the member for Mawson. I was very glad, not just upon the return of the member for Mawson from his overseas visit, not just then, but also throughout the entirety of the visit, being in regular contact with the member for Mawson, who is using his wealth of experience and, dare I say, extensive suite of contacts to advocate the state's interests when it comes to the attraction of events to our state. That allocation of $40 million within the state budget we see as being a very powerful economic lever to not just provide more events for South Australians to enjoy, but far more importantly that as a powerful economic lever to showcase everything the state has to offer to broader audiences that may not have otherwise had access to everything or visibility over everything that South Australia has to offer. The member for Mawson his trip overseas has been incredibly useful already. There are a number of efforts that are currently in train, both by the Major Events Attraction Committee, but also Events SA and also the Department of Premier and Cabinet to now pursue those opportunities so that they materialise the great chance that they present to showcase everything our state has to offer. Be under no illusions, this government is extremely committed to expanding the calendar of events that we have here in South Australia. We're obviously re-establishing the Adelaide 500, and I might take the opportunity to mention that if any South Australians are listening and keen on getting to the Adelaide 500, they might want to purchase their tickets very quickly. So this is a demonstration, and I welcome the opposition's interest in the Adelaide 500. That's healthy, and we hope it continues. So we know, of course, that this government is committed to major events, but not just the ones that we are bringing back, but also expanding the scope of them into the future. And that's why the event from the Major Events Attraction Committee and the member for Mawson is so important.
Supplementary. Before the member for King. Supplementary question from the member for Morialta.
Given my understanding from the Premier's answer that he received the briefing from the member for Mawson, can the Premier advise whether the member for Mawson claimed expenses, as I believe was given to be understood was possible as a result of this trip, and what was the cost to the taxpayer of the member for Mawson's trip to Doha, Sweden, the French Alps and other places?
Would the Premier?
Absolutely, there is the ability for expenses to be claimed, but the advice I've received that at this point no expenses claim has been made.